Imagine a company that's just good, not great. What could propel it to greatness? This is the central question that Jim Collins, a renowned business consultant and author, sought to answer in his groundbreaking book, Good to Great. In the quest to uncover the secret sauce that transforms a good company into a great one, Collins and his dedicated team embarked on an exhaustive research journey. This wasn't a simple weekend study. This was a rigorous, meticulous investigation that stretched over a span of 4 decades. They scrutinized a staggering 1,435 companies, combing through data, dissecting strategies, and analyzing outcomes. But they weren't merely looking for companies that had seen a surge in profits or a spike in stock prices. They were searching for those rare, exceptional entities that had made the leap from good to great and managed to sustain that greatness over a significant period. They sought the elusive alchemy that had transformed these companies into shining beacons in the corporate world. Collins and his team were not just business researchers. They were corporate detectives, sifting through the sands of time and data to piece together the puzzle of sustained corporate success. Their mission was to find the golden thread that wove through these companies, the common denominators that underpinned their greatness. The results of this extensive research were nothing short of fascinating, revealing a set of principles that were common among all the companies that had made the transition from good to great. These principles weren't based on industry trends or the charisma of the CEO. They were deeper, more fundamental truths that held the key to corporate greatness. So, how does a company or even an individual make that leap? Stay tuned to find out. This journey from good to great is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not about quick fixes or short-term gains. It's about enduring principles and long-term success. And this journey, dear listeners, is just beginning. Have you ever heard of the hedgehog concept? It's not about being the biggest, fastest, or strongest, but about being the best. Delving into the hedgehog concept, we find a fascinating philosophy that combines 3 key elements. The first circle of this concept asks, what can you be the best in the world at? It's not about what you want to be the best at, but rather, what you can realistically achieve. It's about understanding your unique capabilities and leveraging them to your advantage. The second circle of the hedgehog concept challenges you to understand what drives your economic engine. This involves identifying which factors have the most significant impact on your financial performance. It's about finding that one denominator, be it profit per customer, profit per employee, or any other measure, that has the most substantial effect on your economics. Lastly, the third circle of the hedgehog concept nudges you to discover what you are deeply passionate about. Passion is the fuel that drives you forward, even during tough times. It's about finding that one thing that you love doing and that you can pour your heart and soul into. Jim Collins, in his book Good to Great, illustrates this concept with real-world examples. He talks about Walgreens, a company that applied the hedgehog concept to their business strategy. They understood that they could be the best at convenience-oriented retailing, identified profit per customer visit as their key economic driver, and nurtured a deep passion for helping people lead healthier, happier lives. By intersecting these 3 circles, Walgreens transformed from a good company to a great one. Similar stories resonate throughout the book, each echoing the same truth. The hedgehog concept isn't about trying to be all things to all people. It's about focus. It's about understanding your strengths, your passions, and your economic drivers, and aligning them to move from competence to excellence. Remember, the key is not to try to be everything to everyone, but to focus on where you can truly excel. What's the difference between a good leader and a great one? The answer may surprise you. Imagine a scale, a leadership scale, if you will, from 1 to 5. Level 1 represents highly capable individuals, while Level 2 signifies contributing team members. Level 3 encapsulates the competent manager, and Level 4, the effective leader. But what about Level 5? This, my friends, is where we find the pinnacle of leadership, the Level 5 leader. A Level 5 leader, as defined by Jim Collins in his transformative book, Good to Great, embodies a paradoxical blend of personal humility and professional will. They don't seek the spotlight, but rather, they shine it on the company and the contributions of others. They are a paradox, a humble yet fearless force of nature. These leaders are not marked by their charisma, but by their quiet determination. They are the unsung heroes who work tirelessly behind the scenes, making decisions that may not be popular, but are always right for the company. They are the architects of greatness, their ambition directed not towards personal gain, but towards the success of their organization. Imagine a leader who shuns public adulation, who credits luck and their team for their success, but looks in the mirror, not out the window when things go awry. That's a level 5 leader. They are the epitome of resilience, never blaming others, always shouldering the responsibility. It's these leaders who have been instrumental in transforming good companies into great ones. They've helmed the ship through tumultuous seas, always keeping their eye on the horizon, steering towards greatness with unwavering resolve. Their journey is not marked by a desire for personal recognition, but by a relentless drive to do what's best for their company. These leaders don't just aim for success, they strive for significance. They don't just lead, they transform. So, what's the difference between a good leader and a great one? It's not about charisma or ego, but about the drive to do whatever it takes to make the company succeed. Discipline is not about punishment, but about consistency and commitment. As we delve into the fourth scene, let's uncover the essence of discipline, a cornerstone not only to business success, but a vital element across all life spheres. The idea of discipline often conjures up images of rigorous routines and strict adherence to rules. But in the context of our journey from good to great, discipline takes on a different hue. At its core, discipline is about aligning our actions with our ambitions, a concept that is beautifully illustrated in the book Good to Great by Jim Collins. The author emphasizes 3 pillars of discipline: disciplined people, disciplined thought, and disciplined action. These are not separate entities, but interconnected elements that form the basis of a transformational culture of discipline. Let's start with disciplined people. It's not about having disciplined employees, but about having employees who are inherently disciplined. These individuals don't need to be managed or controlled. Instead, they understand their responsibilities and perform their duties with unwavering commitment. Moving on to disciplined thought. This involves confronting the brutal facts of reality while maintaining an unwavering faith in the end game. A disciplined thought process is about clarity of purpose and the courage to accept reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Lastly, disciplined action. This is about taking consistent actions aligned with your vision and strategy. It's about doing what needs to be done even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. Disciplined action is not about grand gestures or overnight success, but about steady progress toward a clearly defined goal. Together, these 3 pillars create a culture of discipline, a culture that drives companies from good to great. It's a culture where freedom and responsibility coexist, where discipline is not imposed but embraced. It's a culture that fosters success, not by restricting freedom, but by providing a clear, consistent, and compelling framework. Discipline isn't about restricting freedom, it's about creating a framework for success. And in that framework, we find the path from good to great. Success is not a single monumental event, but a series of small, consistent pushes. The flywheel and the doom loop, 2 contrasting concepts from Jim Collins' Good to Great, illustrate this truth. The flywheel represents the momentum of a business on its journey to greatness. Just as a physical flywheel requires continuous, consistent effort to maintain its momentum, so does a business. Each small push, each decision, each strategy, each action is like a nudge to the flywheel. It may seem insignificant at first, but when compounded over time, these tiny nudges lead to a momentum that becomes unstoppable. This effect is not immediate. It's a slow, consistent buildup. The first few pushes may not seem to have much impact. That's because the real magic happens in the accumulation of efforts. You don't wake up one day and find the flywheel spinning at full speed. Rather, it's the result of relentless pushing, day in and day out, that slowly but surely generates momentum. On the other hand, the doom loop represents the spiral into failure. It's the result of inconsistent effort, a lack of discipline, and the pursuit of quick fixes. Companies that find themselves in the doom loop often look for the next big thing, the game-changing product, or the revolutionary strategy that will instantly propel them to greatness. However, these silver bullet solutions rarely exist, and in their pursuit, these companies end up neglecting the consistent effort needed to keep the flywheel spinning. In essence, the flywheel and the doom loop are about the power of consistency and the danger of inconsistency. They demonstrate that success is not about grand gestures or overnight transformations, but about the accumulation of small, consistent efforts. So as we navigate the complex world of business, let's remember the lessons from the flywheel and the doom loop. Let's commit to push consistently, to make every decision, every strategy, every action count. Because it's these small, consistent pushes that build momentum and drive us towards greatness. Remember, there are no quick fixes or magic solutions, only consistent effort and unwavering commitment. So are you ready to make the leap from good to great? Let's recap. We've journeyed through the principles of Level 5 leadership, the hedgehog concept, the culture of discipline, and the flywheel versus the doom loop. Each of these concepts holds the key to transforming our lives and businesses. The call to greatness is not a distant echo. It's a voice within us, urging us to apply these principles and ascend to the pinnacle of success. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more insightful book summaries. Together, we can journey from good to great.